Hello! Welcome to our Smart History video. We're Jade and Aika. I'm Jade and we'll be talking about art from ancient Rome.
And I'm Aika, and I'll be talking about a piece from ancient Greece. So let's get started. So here we have a Greek amphora. I was going to call it beautiful, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And if you ask me, well, I don't want to diss the Greeks, but it's alright. I'd rather buy a vase from Home Goods or IKEA. I like the minimalist look. But anyway, I digress. So back to what we're really here for. Let's talk details. This is Dionysos with Maenads by an Amasis painter, and it's a black figure decoration on an amphora. Circa 540 BC. It's a ceramic vase with the height of the amphora is 13 inches or 33.3 centimeters. So this amphora depicts Dionysos, also known as the wine god, colloquially known as the party god. And since I dissed this vase, all the wine I drink from here on out is probably going to taste like feet. Not that I drink wine or anything, but again, I digress. Back to what we're really here for. So for starters, an amphora is basically a large all-purpose storage jar, kind of like an ancient mason jar, similar to like mason jars on Pinterest. Anyway, the depiction is of the wine god Dionysus with his maenads. Maenads are female worshippers. And a little bit on Amasis, which is he's an anonymous artist. However, his work has a distinctive style, first recognized on vessels signed by a potter named Amasis, and most of his work is found on small vessels, so this is actually an exception to his usual work. In this scene, two maenads, arms around each other's shoulders, skip forward to present their offerings, long-eared rabbit and a small deer to Dionysus. One maenad is holding a deer. She's wearing the skin of a spotted leopard or a panther with its head still attached, draped over her shoulders and secured with a belt at her waist. Now, side note, these groupies go hard. I didn't take these maenads seriously for some reason. The fact that they wear a skin of a leopard, though, that's real dope. They aren't wearing those girly dresses from Forever 21 or BCBG. I like to think that they killed and skinned these leopards themselves, but again, I digress. Now, the god, an imposing, richly dressed figure, clasps a large cantharos, which is a wine cup, and a band of grape leaves. An attribute of this god, Dionysus, forms the ground line on which the figures stand, and the maenads each carry a piece of grapevine. So this encounter between humans and God appears to be a joyful, celebratory occasion rather than one of reverence or fear. The Amasis painter favored strong shapes and patterns, generally disregarding conventions for making figures appear to occupy real space, and emphasized fine details such as the large, delicate petal and spiral designs below each handle, the figures' meticulously arranged hair, and the bold patterns on their clothing.
Thank you, Aika. That was a beautiful piece. The next piece we have here is titled Hercules Strangling the Serpents, House of Vedi, Pompeii, AD 63-79. This painting dates back to ancient Rome and was discovered during the late 1890s in the city of Pompeii. This painting was found in the House of Vedi, Pompeii. Interestingly, this painting represents the Greek myth in which the infant Hercules strangles a pair of snakes. Hercules was the son of Jupiter and the mortal Alcmene. Juno was jealous of her husband's infidelity and tried to kill the infant by sending two snakes into his nursery. Her plot failed when Hercules killed the snakes instead. In this painting, the toddler-aged Hercules is the focus of attention. At the right, Alcmene's mortal husband, Amphitryon, who believes himself to be Hercules' father, watches in amazement. Alcmene's reaction to her son, however, is more ambivalent. Her pose takes her away from the event, as she seems to be running out of the picture. But she turns to stare at Hercules, her riveted gaze enhanced by her wide-eyed expression. The shading of Hercules and Amphitryon defines the natural structure of their bodies, as well as their positions in space. The figure at the left is rendered from the back, as if he, like the observer, has just happened to be on the scene. The architectural elements within the picture, such as the slightly receding row of Ionic columns, adds to the illusion of depth. The floor of the room is horizontal, enabling the viewer to determine the spatial locations of figures and objects. Amphitritone's footstool and the altar behind Hercules are placed at oblique angles to the picture plane. By darkening one side of the altar, the artist creates the illusion that both sides recede. So why is this painting symbolizing Greek mythology if it was found in a Roman city? Although the painting represents a Greek myth, certain iconographic details refer to the imperial concerns of Rome. Amphitryon is clearly a ruler, wearing a laurel wreath, enthroned and holding a scepter. Perched on the altar is the eagle, which is at once a reference to Jupiter and the Roman army. Likewise, the divine origins of Hercules recall the Roman legends tracing the origins of Rome to Aeneas and through into the Greek gods. Hercules' formal similarity to the Hellenistic sculpture Laocoon relates the image, like Aeneas, on the Arapises to the fall of Troy. Finally, this painting is shown in situ, that is, in its original context. Like the architectural paintings in the room, Hercules strangling the serpents has the effect of a window cut into the wall. What interested me about this painting was that it was a piece of art found in the ancient Roman city of Pompeii. Pompeii was destroyed by a volcanic explosion, leaving the entire city to be engulfed by ash, freezing everyone and everything in time. I thought it was interesting how the Romans pulled inspiration and reference to Greek mythology even during their prevalent time and rule in history. Thanks for watching! Bye!
Addio!